chord. Because of our diatonic chord progression, we know that that's major. Our seventh is from here to here, a major third, and our root of an F would be an octave higher right there, and that's only a half step away, so we know that this must be a major seventh. Another one of the really pretty ones. Now the fifth, the 5 chord, is where we get that weird dominant situation, where we have a major triad, but a minor seventh. That's just what is naturally occurring, and we call that a dominant chord, or just a shorthand is a 7th chord. When we talk about a 7th chord, the kind of common lingo we use is if it's a major 7th chord, we write this MAJ7. If it's a minor 7th chord, we write this lowercase m and then a 7. If it's a dominant chord like this, we just write the letter or the number 7 after the chord name. So in this case, we would write G7, meaning that it's a G major triad with a minor 7th on it. Okay, so that's the one exception. That's the one place in the scale that's going to show up. Let's move on. Our 6th chord is a minor chord, and it has a minor 7th on it. The root would be here if we took it up an octave. Our B chord, this is our diminished chord, right? So this is a minor, actually this is a major triad. So this one is just all kinds of weird. So let's just continue to call this diminished, but we'll call it a diminished 7 in this case, because what we have is a minor triad with that major third. But it's a major third here, but it's a minor third here, right? So that's just all kinds of weird and goofy. And it sounds ugly, so we don't often use it in popular music or electronic music, or really very much. We tend to avoid this like the plague. It's just not very useful for us. So file that one away for now. We're still going to call it a diminished chord. Let's call it a diminished 7th chord. Let's hear it. I'm going to get rid of all our 7ths. Okay, let's get rid of those and hear it, and then we'll play it a second time, and I'll put the 7ths back in. So here it is without the 7ths. And here it is with the 7ths. Okay, so you can hear, hopefully, that the chord quality is unaffected. It's still a major or a minor chord. Adding the 7th just gives it a little more color, right? It's a little more colorful. It sounds a little bit more jazz-like to me. Chords that use a lot of 7ths, or music that uses a lot of 7th chords, tends to have a more jazz flavor to it. So if you want that kind of sound, add a bunch of 7th chords to your harmony. If you don't want that kind of sound, don't. Now there is a special reason why we might use this dominant chord. So I want to put that into a little bit of context and focus on that quickly. So let's do that in the next video.